So I've came across a lot of people who have been asking me about dieting, and in terms of dieting, intermittent fasting specifically. So I thought I'd just generally brief over the ins and outs of intermittent fasting. So a lot of people ask me about meal timing, and meal timing has always been a big concern. A couple of years ago, always seeing that I need to get my protein and then 20 minutes after my workout, or I need to eat my meal exactly 2 hours after the previous one. I myself used to do 5 meals a day when I was dieting down, and that was including when I was doing intermittent fasting. But it's not entirely necessary after the research that's out there and that I've learned from. It's more about just being able to get your calories in versus calories out. And within terms of intermittent fasting, that is just an add-on towards that. So for instance, when I intermittent fasting, I do occasionally still intermittent fast, but when I used to take Terry Cruz's approach, which is fast from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. at night, and the rest is just I just don't eat in between that. Occasionally, I may have some sparkling water or a tea or whatnot, but apart from that, that's it. But so that leaves an 8 hour window for you to eat, and I'd have 5 meals sometimes for that. And then I found out through my own body that it's just you're spending all day in the kitchen, or if that you're spending 2-3 hours a day in the kitchen just trying to prep 5 meals, and it's not handy. I mean, I have other things to do, as we all do. So I've cut it down to 2 big meals in the day if I still do fast. And other people can want to fast in the night time, and other people want to fast for longer periods of time, for 18 hours, and then only leaving 4 hours to fast. Some people prefer that. One of my friends do. It's just down to the individual, and all that does is it leaves a smaller time frame for you to consume calories. And you tend to find that when you're not eating, if you have a meal at the beginning of the day, if you break fast very early, and then you try and get in a meal around about 2 for lunch, and then later on you'll have another meal at 10 o'clock at night, you're going to be quite hungry within those 8 hours before you eat. I don't know when your dinner is, maybe 7, 8, 9, whenever. But it's easier. It's easier to consume less calories because you're not eating and your body isn't used to it. It's still within a fast period, and you tend to find that it just doesn't process burning. Your mind doesn't process it in terms as it would, because it's not allowed that. In terms of dieting, if you look at competitive eaters, they will only drink water to expand their stomach, so that when they go in to eat, their stomach is big and they can shovel in whatever they need to. But with intermittent fasting, it's where your stomach does shrink and you're not having anything. So you also tend to find that when you do have those meals at that time frame that you've set for yourself, it's easier because you don't eat as much. It's really handy. And I tend to find that if I break fast earlier, I'll try to want to snack more throughout the day on just things that aren't really helpful for my diet. But yeah, it's just a tool used to further your calorie deficit or incline, whatever you want it to do. When I bulk, I won't intermittent fast just because I'm trying to get as many calories in as I can. And if you have an 8 hour window, it's a lot. You're making it a lot harder for yourself. Some can do it, and some just fast 365 days of the year. But that's just not me. Typically, yes, that's what you're looking for. I've been training for about 8 years now, and I'm still learning things about diet and whatnot. Of course, as I said, 5 meals instead of 2 is a lot harder. But yeah, it can be tricky trying to get some of this other information in and trying to just not get lost in all the talk and all the different things that people are saying, because there's so much of it. It's just an overexposure of what is right and what is wrong. So I'm hoping this video can help in terms of what to do and what not to do. Yeah, but it's all about the individual, because everybody's different. What works for one person might not work for the other. And that's what fitness is all about. So if anyone tries to tell you that this way won't work for you, that is ultimately incorrect, because they don't know you. And not to say a trainer isn't completely necessary, because you work with them and then you get to know yourself better through what you teach each other. You're coaching each other, essentially. That's what a good coach would do. Yeah, so I'm wanting to cover a few more of these topics further in depth. We could do some talking about macronutrients, and talking about weightlifting and different forms of that, and what's best for your other forms of dieting, such as the ketogenic diet or whatnot. So otherwise, I hope this video helps you, and I'll see you in the next one.